Hi everyone, this is Miss Drayle. I'm going to be doing a lesson on the Albany Plan of Union. This is a flipped classroom, so you will be watching the video, answering some questions after, and then you'll have knowledge about this topic. Just bear with me as I figure this out. Okay. So while the French and the Indian War is going on in parts of future United States of America, a group of colonists got together. They thought they saw problems with defense and different things that were happening. So they decided to come together, create something called the Albany Plan. It never actually passed, but some of the effects of it we see today in our government. So first we'll start with the I can't statement. So it's target 3. I can describe the movement of people, products, and ideas and how it resulted in new patterns of settlements and land use and analyze the impact on the political and economic development of the U.S. Right? So while the war was going on between Britain and France, they were allying with different groups of Native Americans. While this was going on, leaders from the colonies met to discuss defense and everything that kind of was happening. July 1754, they all came together. Representatives from only 7 of the 13 colonies met to draft a plan. They wanted to create a unified government for the 13 colonies. They wanted something more central. This was actually led by Benjamin Franklin. This is a picture of him when he was much younger. We don't really see pictures like this of him when we think of Ben Franklin. He was definitely a pioneer. He was ahead of his time. He was only 45 when he met, but he was ahead of his time in the idea of democracy. He really was influenced by specific groups of Native Americans, so that influenced him to get a group of people together to make changes within the colonies. So like I said, they wanted a unified government for the 13 colonies. At the time, there was different governments and different groups, but they wanted something that connected all 13 colonies together. They wanted to have a united front. So they decided to meet in July of 1754 in Albany, New York. It's now actually the capital of New York. They agreed that they wanted a royal appointed president, general, and an elected council. So we see ideas of representative democracy there when we have an elected council. People are voting on people to represent them. This was influenced by the Icarus Confederacy and the Great Law of Peace. So the Great Law of Peace was actually their written constitution. Benjamin Franklin was influenced by this group of people, this group of Native Americans. They were very successful with their constitution and how they ran their government. We see ideas of representative democracy here. So they agreed that a royal appointed president, general, and elected council would benefit all. It would show that the 13 colonies were a collective group to not only, Great Britain, but throughout the rest of the world. So you've probably seen this image before. This is a political cartoon. This was something that Benjamin Franklin came up and put in a newspaper. So we see at the bottom it says join or die, and it looks like a rattlesnake, and we can tell that it's separated in different parts. So the letters, if you see the different letters that are on here, those represent the colonial regions and also some of the colonies. So we have like NC, SC, South Carolina, North Carolina, New Jersey. So that represents showing the different colonies. Also, you're probably thinking, well, why is the rattlesnake cut into small pieces? Well, that shows that without a central government, that the colonies are not united. They are all separate, and how can something live when it's all separate like that? And you might also think, well, why is he using a rattlesnake in this image? Well, the rattlesnake shows that the colonies, they, they're deadly. They can be deadly, and they're strong, okay? They're feared by many, so many people are scared of snakes. So they can also be provoked. They will attack if they are provoked. So that just shows that, the colonies were very separate at this point, but if they are together, they are united as a snake, like, the metaphor there is a rattlesnake, then they can be, very strong and feared by many. They could be such a powerful group of people. And I think the message he's trying to get across is that together they can be powerful, they can't be taken advantage of, and they are very strong people. Well, unfortunately, the Albany Plan does fail. The colonists are not in agreement with it. I like this little picture, that's why I included this kid in there. But it does fail. But some of the effects we see from it, we see today. So a summary of this plan, the Albany Plan was influenced by this group of Native Americans and their form of the Constitution. They not only wanted to connect the colonies by having one central government, they wanted them to look as more like a power. The plan was unsuccessful, but it also influenced future decisions made in government in the Articles of Confederation, which is something we will talk about in the future. The end result is, not what they wanted, not what Benjamin Franklin and his group wanted, but it was successful that they were coming together and realizing that there was a problem. Thanks for listening.